I was just watching some guy on a video. He's sitting there, he's good pair of glasses, go well with his hair, great head of hair, and like a deep periwinkle shirt. Looked good. And he's a minister. And he was talking, I watch these things, you know. You gotta know when they start lying to everybody. This guy, he was started in about 1933, Germany, and I'm like, wow, oh boy, here we go. And he started talking about things, and he was saying things, and I was like, he would be that close to having me. He's like, you gotta look at the truth, you gotta look at everything, but then he'd say, screw those people, in effect. And it's like, oh, you just almost had it. But he talks about the truth, and he's talking about these things, and he's saying, you know, we gotta stick together, and we gotta let go of the little stuff. And I'm like, you're right, but you still can't forget about the little stuff, otherwise you'll forget that you're little and you'll become a monster. Just onto the world, into the can returns. Focus on the big stuff. And it's like, they've only got 5 lines left. Add a few fucking racial jokes in there, and you've got yourself a set. It's like, every time he was that close, and he starts talking about the military, and he's like, he's been all over the place. He has followers in the military because, you know, he's got at least 50 different challenge coins. I keep hearing this called a challenge coin. And he says he's got, people gave him. I said, but you know what? After the shit you say, you don't get this one. You go out and get your own. Earn it. He's talking to the military and the truth, how they see the truth of freedom and all this, and it's like, he's just about got me. And then he starts throwing God in, how there's going to be only one God that's going to come and pull us all out. And I'm, you didn't know my military. That's what that says to me. He's so close, so close. Maybe one more lifetime, one more try ought to get it. He's that close. And you go, too bad. But it's very good too. As I say, you have to be, everything he was saying, he was that close to saying you have to be able to see both sides of it. He was that close to saying, you know, anybody that's really been a bit deeper than Burger King in this society can see that there's something else going on, and there's got to be a greater truth. But that truth does not take us to God. It takes us away from their God. It takes us away from religion. And look at this. In memory of Friar. Yeah. See that? Friar and I went to South Padre Island, Texas on spring break in '93. And we each got one of these lady beer holder things. I found it in one of my things. It was labeled with my camouflage sticks, my gas mask. It had old paratrooper stuff in there for that you can still use as a ligature. It has some old prophetic statements, and it had this that the whole thing looked like it was a ruse, what was in there, because I used to be very organized on a move. and it had all this stuff, gas mask, ropes, all this shit. And it had this this beer can cooler that Fryer and we saw those in a novelty shop in South Padre, Texas. That's the first time I ever went to jail. First day. We got him. And it's fantastic. It's a fine example. In the winter, I still use a can cooler because it keeps the cold from the beer from freezing my hand. But I realize it's just like wine. With red wine, which you serve room temperature, you hold the goblet part of the glass. But with white wine, one that's served, cooled, chilled, you hold the stem. That way your hand the equilibrium, the concentration, the energy, thermal laws and things like that, the action of movements and energies and stuff like that. It doesn't make your cool wine warm too fast. But so there in the winter, it's just like a handle on your beer. I'm so happy I found this. When I was going to give it to the step, I thought she might find that interesting. It's a nice little thing to stand there. She doesn't drink, but she took a greater interest in the gas mask.